Hey guys, this is Lee from Unicorn Knight, and today we're going to be playing Romance Detective 2, and this is part 4 in the series, so let's continue. We're back with our mother. Okay, hello mother, this is my partner, Romance Cop. She's also known as Chris. Nice to meet you, miss. Please call me Burnett. As for the reason you called me here, it has something to do with the current state of the moon, correct? How did you know? I don't remember mentioning any of the details over the phone. Haven't you guys been watching the news? See for yourselves. Which concludes our segment on haunted houses. Thank you, Magnolia. Now, to what I'm being told is real news, our top story. Scientists are baffled by what appears to be a giant rose garden that's spreading all over the moon. Space exploration team, known affectionately as the Defenders of Earth, have announced plans to launch a shuttle to the moon in hopes to study these flowers and search for alien life. While it is highly unlikely that aliens truly exist, we wish them the best of luck on their endeavors. Hopefully, their impromptu space mission can provide us with more information regarding where these roses came from and how they could possibly thrive in such an extreme environment. In other news, crime rates have been on the rise worldwide, which has led to some of us to believe that the end of times is upon us. More at 11. So our theory was correct. But how could this be? No matter how I look at it, this seems really impossible. The scientific community agrees with you there, but some things happen whether we can understand them or not. Though, having worked on this very thing that makes these flowers able to do such extraordinary things, I could tell you a few basic principles of how they might work. Huh? You worked on... Wait. You're not a mad scientist, are you? I have never been called that before. It does have a nice ring to it. Mother, please? Romance Cop is prone to believing these sorts of jokes. Do not wish for her to think of you as some kind of villain. What do you mean prone to believing? I like to think of myself as a rational, skeptical person. It means that you're quite gullible. Don't worry, I'm quite gullible too. I distinctly remember you asking me quite recently if I had been born with a rose in my mouth. That's your fault for always looking so serious whenever you tell me anything. Oh, you two are so cute together. I know I've said it before, but I'm proud of you for finally finding a partner, Rose. Mother, you're embarrassing me. Alright, we should get down to business. So, you say you help develop whatever makes these roses able to influence people's hearts? That's correct. And it's not because I'm a mad scientist. We were always well-intentioned, you know? But intentions count for nothing when the result is, well, this mess. Who do you mean when you say, we? Here. I'll start from the beginning. It's quite a long story, but I'll do my best to summarize. During my college years, I had this friend. Her name was Rosemary. We were young and full of passion, naively thinking that we could change the world on our own, through science. Our mission was broad and simple, to improve humanity. Rosemary's family was quite wealthy and had agreed to fund whatever research she was interested in doing. When she asked me to work alongside her, I readily accepted. A laboratory was prepared right here in Lovebloom, and we went straight to work trying to develop a pharmacological agent that would, more or less, fill people's hearts with love. We spent years on this idea, the idea that if we could just create something that made people feel only caring and acceptance, we could eradicate violence. If we could just get this to work, we thought there would be no more room for hatred, war, terrorism, because all we would feel is love. But the more we tested these medicines we were developing, the uneasier I felt. Was it really the right way to achieve world peace? Would we not become slaves to the drugs of nations brainwashed by citizens, getting along through no will of their own? Can that truly be called peace? if I only had the courage to leave sooner, but we had come too far. And, well, Rosemary did not share my doubts. What mattered to her was the end result. How could I argue against something that would guarantee to end senseless killings all over the world once and for all? She couldn't understand my concern, so I complacently continued with the research. Over the years, Rosemary gathered more lab assistants, but progress was at a standstill until one day, out of nowhere, she presented something suitable for human testing. Rosemary announced to everyone that she and I would be the first test subjects. She had not consulted me about this decision, and yet I felt I couldn't refuse. It was the two of us who had started this. We dedicated years of our lives to this research, all leading up to that moment. So, this too I went along with, and it felt wrong, all wrong. This wasn't the feeling I wanted to give people. It wasn't at all like I hoped for. At that point, I could no longer avoid the truth. What we'd been developing, it was unethical. But Rosemary believed in the project. She tried to convince me if we could just kept on working, we could get it right. But how could manipulating people's hearts ever be right? I couldn't reason with her. Shortly after that experiment, I left, and a few other assistants followed. Rosemary must have hated me for causing the split. We haven't kept in touch since. Years later, I was told that the project was abandoned. Rosemary had finally moved on from that dream. I was also told that she had a child, and because of that experiment, Mother, forgive me, but could you leave this part out for now? You still haven't told me what? I'll explain later. Are you sure? You'll drive the poor girl insane. Romance Cop, is it alright if we promise to go over this part with you afterwards? Save it for later. She'll tell me when she needs to, or when she's ready. That's fine. It sounds really serious. I can wait until you're ready to talk about it. I apologize. It's my fault. For almost casually including that detail. It was insensitive of me. Let's talk about what's relevant to the case. So it seems like someone has picked up where our research left off, and they've been using roses to carry their own version of what we made back then. So you mentioned the lab was here in Love Bloom. That place might be worth investigating, don't you think, Detective? Probably. I doubt the building is still in use. If they haven't changed the locks, this should get you inside. You received the abandoned lab key. Thank you. We'll let you know if we find any clues. Oh, but the sun is already going down. I guess we should play it safe and wait for tomorrow, huh? Speaking of which, I would hate for you to fall under the rose's influence on your way home, Mother. Yes, I should be going. I'll try to get in contact with you tomorrow if I learn anything else about the case. Okay, we might be a little hard to reach though. Just use the radio at the police station. Understood. Farewell. A romance detective and a mad scientist. What an interesting little family. I suppose we are. You've been kind of quiet. Was this the first time hearing that story? I've been told bits and pieces before, but never in detail. I see. Maybe I should head home too. Unless you wanted to talk to me about something now that we're alone. Please, stay. It isn't fair of me to hide this any longer. Okay, what is it? You may come to hate me for this. Are you sure you're ready? No matter what, I'm absolutely positive I could never hate you. So please, go right ahead. Very well. This is my secret. She has the flower DNA thingy potion inside of her. Oh, that's why her eyes are pink, like the scientists when they were taking it. Interesting. Detective, your eyes. Yes, now you know the answer to why I've always kept them hidden. I don't understand. I knew the day would come that I would finally have to explain myself to you, but as time went on, it became more and more difficult to bring up. So allow me to get everything out at once. I was born with these cursed eyes. They first started causing me trouble when I began attending school. My classmates were unsettled by the strange color. Long Before long, I was ostracized. The other children would flee at my approach, thinking of me as a possessed, as someone who would bring them misfortune or harm. After months of enduring rumors and taunts, my mother provided a solution at my request. I was transferred to a new school where no one knew of me. The faculty was told of my circumstances, and I was allowed to wear sunglasses at all times. As it turns out, concealing my eyes did not make much of a difference in how I was treated. The eyes hold a lot of emotive power. They are a window to a person's soul, so it is said. In shielding them from others, I appeared aloof at best and intimidating at worst. Socializing was far too much trouble. Most of my school years were spent quietly studying and watching crime dramas on television. I felt lonely at times, but this way it was at least of my own violation. The first person I could call my friend was the chief. We met when I was a sophomore. She was 2 grades ahead of me, so in a way, I looked up to her. She told me that my sunglasses made me look cool, that I should embrace it. This persona I carried, even now, was only an attempt to live up to her expectations of me. I continued to keep my eyes a secret, perhaps out of fear. I did not wish my face to be the same kind of judgment I had experienced as a child. Romance Cop, you are the first person in a very long time to see me like this. I must not have made things difficult for you, with now how I've avoided intimacy due to my own insecurities. And of course, since the incident with the roses, it all seemed more impossible to explain. What if you thought I had been in a trance all along? I was afraid that you would not be able to accept this part of me, that you might leave me. Detective, I'm sorry that I kept all of this from you. It's okay. Is it okay if I tell you what I think? I think your eyes are beautiful. No, they're unnatural. I don't mind. I love them because they're yours. No one has ever said such a thing to me before. She's a good girlfriend. That's very sweet. Are you not angry with me? What? Why would I be angry? I'm always lying to you about this, about being a detective, all the things I've made up to impress you. You weren't doing any of that to be mean though, but you know, you don't need to try to impress me all the time. I already love you, detective. I love you too. Well, I'm glad that's settled. Yes, but now it's going so late. What should we do? Ah, you're right. Should I hurry up and get home? How would you feel about staying here for the night? Really? I mean, if it's okay with you, I'd love to. Then it's settled. We'll head out to the lab first thing tomorrow morning. Good plan. Can we make dinner together tonight? I'm getting pretty hungry. I'll allow you to stay the night, and your first thought is of food. That's very like you, romance cop. Is that bad? I thought cooking a meal together is totally romantic. Yes, of course. I'd like that very much. Sure thing. Let's save. Ready to go? Yes, let's depart. Hey, you're still wearing your sunglasses. Of course, taking away even one piece of this outfit ruins the entire romance detective image. Well, I think you look cute though, without them. I must uphold my look, romance cop. Fair enough. You don't want to have to explain anything to anyone, do you, detective? Well, I guess it's a little soon for me to expect that anyway. Oh, the key broke. I thought this only happened in video games. Did the door unlock? Yeah, it's open now, but we can't return the key in this condition. Burnett's gonna think I'm irresponsible. It served its purpose, Mother will understand. I still feel bad though, like it was her keepsake, you know? Letting go of the past is the only way to move forward, Romance Cop. Let's go inside. It looks like this place has been empty a long time. Honestly, I was kind of worried we wouldn't be able to get in or without that old key. I guess we lucked out. Of course, we are fated to solve this case, therefore the odds will always be in our favor. Not sure how that makes any logical sense, but if you say so, it must be true. The detective's back to her old self again, even though she knows she doesn't have to put up an act for me. I guess this is just what makes her most comfortable. But is that really okay? I want her to be able to accept herself and not have to hide behind a pair of shades to be able to face everyone. Not that I can expect her to suddenly be fine with that either. She's been through so much. Romance Cop, you look troubled. Oh, sorry, I spaced out for a second. Don't worry about me. Alright, there seems to be a lot to sift through here. Let's begin. The You Can Do It poster! Oh no, this poor kitty was being used to help motivate the bad guys. While I do not think of them as villains per se, it is indeed unfortunate that a small animal served to encourage these misguided scientists. Rather than pity its existence here, we should respect its powers. Kittens cannot help but inspire hope in us for us all, for better or worse. I kinda wanna take it home. Romance Cop, you mustn't let it coax you into petty larceny. It doesn't even belong to anyone at this point though. It's just got abandoned here. Makes me want to give it a new home, you know? I underestimated you, Cap. Perhaps your true ability brings evil in human souls, no matter how small. Okay, I won't steal the poster. It's no good. It's locked. Burnett didn't tell us anything about a passcode. Hey Sage said that he was a locksmith, right? Do you think he could break into this for us? That may not be necessary. Try 7673. Oh, it opened. How'd you know? Mother has used that number for everything, as far back as I can remember. Perhaps this lock was the origin of that trend. Let's see what's inside. And it's nothing. Except at the bottom here. Dead leaves. And did these used to be flower petals? They're all dried up. Roses. To find them here must mean they were using roses in their experiments way back when. This really was the start of everything. But their project has been long abandoned. Who could have picked it up again? Rosemary was the leader, right? It's gotta be either her or one of her lackeys. So the true culprit eludes us, but don't lose faith in our abilities, Romance Cop. We will solve this case. Of course, I never doubted that for a second, Detective. This lab equipment's all dusty, like no one's touched it in years. That is likely the case, but it's hard to tell how long it's since this lab has been in use. Hey, some of the dust on this one got wiped off. Seems like someone has picked it up. Did they leave fingerprints? No, it's clean. It seems whoever touched this was wearing gloves. We almost had them. Having fingerprints isn't much of a case close as you see on TV. It's not like Lovebloom has an analysts, sorry I can't pronounce that word, analysts, sitting ready with the database to, Detective? Are you okay? You look all sad all of a sudden. Don't tell me such things, Romance Cop. You're taking the romance out of police work. It's not romantic to begin with, but I'm sorry. This photo. Oh look, a dusty old photo. Is this your mom when she was young? Ah yes, I assume this must be Rosemary beside her. It's a shame they had that disagreement. They look so happy in this picture. Oh, so after they went their separate ways to each other, they each had a kid, huh? That's right. My mother ended up marrying one of the scientists that she had worked with in this lab, and sometime later, I was born. They divorced when I was very young. My father works abroad now, so I don't even see him often. He studies medicine, but this has nothing to do with the case. Getting back to my mother's story, I cut her off before she could explain about her former colleague's child. We can assume that the person has a condition similar to my own. I was afraid you'd make the connection, so I delayed that bit of information in order to reveal it to you myself. I still think you worry too much, but I don't blame you. So, do you think that this person might also be involved in this case? Rosemary surely continued using herself as a test subject, or at least she had much more exposure to this substance. If one experiment caused me to turn out this way, I fear the effects of the other child must have been much more intense. Maybe she's entirely pink. That seems fabricated. She has pink eyes, please, in one experiment. Maybe, like, her hair and her eyes are also pink. Like, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not a geneticist. I don't know. Detective, you say that the way you turned out was bad. I wonder, sometimes, which part of me is due to the circumstances surrounding my birth, and which part is my true self. Well, that's easy. All of you is you. You're very practical, Romance Cop. In times of uncertainty, I'll be sure to remember your words. You held on to the old photo. There's someone right there, like, just lurking. We've investigated the heck out of this place. I don't think we'll find anything else useful, so should we get going? Our case remains unsolved, and we have no clear direction to turn next. We've reached a dead end, for now. Burnett did say she'd contact us if she found anything. Maybe it's best to just wait for more info. We're treading water. I don't like it either, but there's not much for us to do right now, so let's just stay alert and continue about the day. Hey, the Spring Festival just started, didn't it? If everyone's going to be there, we should probably keep an eye on things, you know? That's right, they could use the gathering to plan a large-scale offensive. I wouldn't worry too much, though. I mean, we've got the sun on our side for now. Taking time to relax is a part of the job, too, Detective. Perhaps I am a bit worked up. Let's go to enjoy the festival. While staying vigilant, of course. Of course! Someone's at the door. I wonder who it is. Ooh, maybe it's the person. Like, the other child. You know, Rosemary's child. Maybe it's hers. Oh, there's someone there. Excuse me. Hello? Do you have a moment to answer some questions? They fled. Well, that was suspicious. Or maybe they were just shy. It could be our lead. Let's go. Detective, where did she get all this energy so early in the morning? They've disappeared? Huh? We lost them already? I was kind of excited to have another chase scene with you. We may be dealing with a phantom culprit. Don't let your guard down, Romance Cop. There's no such thing as ghost, Detective, and even though that person might have known something, we shouldn't assume they're the culprit. No such thing? I have many a tale to recount when it comes to supernatural experiences. Would you like to hear one? Not in a spooky abandoned place like this. Jeez, I'm all tense. Come on, let's just get out of here. Let's go to the Spring Festival and let's save it here. We'll continue with part 5 later on. So thanks for watching, guys, and thank you for watching, and be sure to leave a like, a comment, or even subscribe if you're new here. And thank you again for watching. I said that like 10 times by now, but bye.